Hey, everybody, what I'm about to tell you, if you really internalize this lesson deeply, it is going to radically change the whole rest of your life. I'm not kidding, right up until your final day. It is going to radically change the way you manage your health and the way you manage your energy levels, your hormone secretion, and everything. So, here's what I'm talking about, all right? When we get into fitness myth busting, generally people are talking about or thinking about things like, should I eat after 7 p.m.? Should I have a big glass of water when I first wake up? Does honey burn body fat if I consume honey? Should I strength train to failure or not? There's all kinds of things like that, and that's where people get into myths. I'm going to go a whole lot deeper. I'm going to tell you the number one, the truest myth busting thing I can possibly tell you. And it is the big elephant in the room for every fitness and health science conversation that I've pretty much ever been in 30 years in the industry. Here it is. You ready? The biggest myth in fitness science is that you don't need to follow the guidelines for every one of your joints, your muscles, your energy systems, etc. That you can just kind of randomly feel what a workout is doing for you and understand its benefit. Now let me spread that out a little bit. Let me choose my words a little bit differently to make sure this is going to hit home. What so many people do is they join a bar class, a yoga class, a boot camp, CrossFit, something that is not targeted to your joint needs, to your muscles needs, to your intensity needs, to the strategy that's going to be the safest and the best for you to get to your goals quickly without wasting any nonsense time, and of course, without putting you at risk of injury, or at least minimal risk of injury, I should say. And so what ends up happening is nobody really thinks on a personalized level in fitness. They just go out there, they sign up for a class, they'll go to YouTube like this, they'll find a workout, and they'll figure that whatever that person's doing in their workout is perfectly appropriate for you. And I get this question all the time. People will say to me, "Hey, what's a good app? What's for workouts? What's a good, where can I find a good workout to do?" And I say, it's never like that because even the apps that do kind of tailor a workout somewhat to you, that is the difference between shooting a bullet with a gun or throwing it with your bare hand. It's still nowhere near the level of insight and discipline necessary to really personalize your workouts. And I'm going to prove it to you, okay? Because I know right now this really sounds like kind of out there. It's very different from what you're normally hearing. So let me put it this way. Think about the most fit person you know who maybe they go to the gym every day or almost every day, and they look great and they're usually counting their calories and such, their macros they're very mindful of. And you look at them now, do you think that they're just going to a gym or to like a group class, like a CrossFit or a bar class, and just doing that only year after year after year? I can tell you 90% of the time or more, that's not the case. Most of the time, someone who has achieved a really great visual, obvious level of fitness has really gone deep into figuring out exactly how much intensity their muscle needs, what's an appropriate duration, how many reps and sets and such, and then what kind of rest periods they're going to need before they train that muscle group again. All of those data points are completely ignored when you get into a class or an online video, and even most apps, even the apps that can somewhat work with that data, they're really not going very deeply, and they can't. You really need someone to watch what you're doing and to figure some things out and do some math and analyze what your biomechanics are looking like, and then come back to you with, okay, here's what you need for now, and here's how we're going to try to progress into the next week. And that's really just about the only way that you can really maximize your safety profile for exercise and at the same time maximize your results. Now, I also need to clean something else up here. I need to be very clear on what exactly we mean by results. A lot of people are talking about just the aesthetics of just muscles popping out, being very lean, and really looking fit. I think it's really important to understand that in my world, in health coaching and health science, I'm not just thinking in terms of visuals and are you going to walk into a room and really feel great about the way you look? That's important. But a little more important is, are we overtraining the heart? Are we causing inflammation in the heart chambers? Like you often see in marathon runners, for example, and you see in people who are really overdoing their cardiovascular or even their strength training performance. All kinds of things can go wrong internally in the body, all kinds of things. If you strength train a certain way, you can cause arthritis. If you strength train the right way, you can actually negate arthritis or reverse arthritis. And the same goes for your muscle tissue, connective tissue. for pretty much almost every biological process relating to the musculoskeletal system. If you target everything just right, in accordance with the guidelines and the science that we understand deeply, then you're probably going to be in really great shape for the long term, for decades to come. If you're being more random and more focused on just what you look like, you can do a lot of damage, and you can really make it where even though you're looking great on the outside, you're not really setting yourself up for long-term health success, staying out of the hospital, staying off of medications. I'll give you a quick example. I've seen so many people on YouTube and social media. They look fantastic, but they're constantly having shoulder surgeries. They're and impingement syndromes and all kinds of things. They're getting spine surgeries, right? They're getting all kinds of improper loading on the spine. They're damaging their spines. These are not successes in the world of health science. If if your strength training and your exercise is leading to constant surgeries, and I even knew a woman who had her hip replaced, even though she was extremely lean and muscular, but she actually had her hip replaced from damage she had done to it. These are not wins. What's important to understand is that you want to stay within the guidelines, get the appropriate rest, and get the appropriate intensities and durations so that you're nurturing your body and building health and not just making it so you look great, but you're just a walking crisis waiting to happen. So anyway, look, guys, I hope this video on myth busting has been helpful. I hope it's giving you the perspective that you need to not just look great and feel your best, but to really live long, stay out of the hospital and off the meds. Be in touch with me anytime. I'm going to keep my phone number down below here for you so you can reach out to me. And of course, you can message me below as well. I look forward to your health and your fitness success.